What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some more news about Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker stated that he would fight Derek Chisora if the money is right. Now, these guys were set to fight, I think, on the undercard of the would-be April 13th date, I believe, of Anthony Joshua's. But that fight was called off due to, these guys couldn't come to an agreement. Derek Chisora called him a pussy, and he was scared to fight him, And I would like to see that fight. I think, Chisora, I seen his performance against Dillian White. That was a very, very high-end fight. Just, Chisora is the kind of guy you can't take lightly. And I know Joseph Parker and his team noticed that. And I think they couldn't come up with an agreement good enough for Parker simply because, first of all, look where Parker's been. Parker was in the ring with Joshua and got the biggest fight purse he ever made. Then he goes in there with Dillian White and loses in a high-action fight. Then, a proposal comes up about Chisora. Well, if you compare what he made with Anthony Joshua and Dillian White, and then this Chisora fight comes out, so you're used to getting this. Then he gets another fight purse with Dillian White like this. Then he gets Chisora's like that. Then he's looking at that like, nah, I don't think that's worth, So I get it. I know Joseph Parker is a, he's a well-compensated guy. He's had some well-compensated fights. And looking at someone like Chisora, he doesn't want to get in there now and risk getting beat by someone like Chisora and not get the money on the, that he feel that I guess would or would not be ass whooping is worth, right? So, that's why he said if the money is right. And he also remember this too, guys. Joseph Parker is trying to get signed to a network. So he's looking for some guaranteed cash, like all these other cats. All these other examples of these fighters getting this high dollar amount, and he's looking for anybody, anywhere, and I did a video about that. So now he comes back and says, yeah, well, I'll fight from fight to fight, but the money has to be right, so that's what it comes down to. Risk versus reward. And Chisora is a high risk, low reward as regard to fighting someone that's known. He is known, okay? But fighting someone like that, he could lose. He could lose to somebody like Chisora. I would love to see that fight because I see a high action fight. And honestly, when you have B-, C+ fighters or C+ fighters, C- fighters, you have some of the best fights that boxing has to offer, because a lot of guys have their own habits or their own flaws, but they give what they have, good and bad, into the ring. Their positives and negatives collide into the ring, and it looks like a treat to see. But anyway, I would love to see the fight happen. I wish it could, and I hope it does get made, because we do have to see this fight, because Joseph Parker's lost twice. Derek Chisora, he upset Takam, and then came out and got knocked out by Dillian White in the 11th round in another high, competitive fight. So I would love to see these guys get it on. If Chisora can beat Joseph Parker, he's on his way back. And if he's looking at like the comeback kid, so based on his record and pattern, if he beats Joseph Parker, he'll kind of remind me of Yuri Boy Campus. Yuri Boy Campus was a middleweight, as well as he fought in everywhere from 147, 154, 160, but he never lost a fight twice back to back. So if he lost a fight, he would always win the next fight, and he did that throughout his career. Yuri Boy Campus, he's a good fighter, good Mexican banger, typical had a typical Mexican style. So if you guys want to know what a Mexican style looks like, Yuri Boy Campus, just YouTube that. And he stopped Tony Ayala when he made his comeback. So that was a very high-end competitive fight, But anyway, back to Chisora and Parker. I would like to see that fight, and I hope it can happen. It can work out. But Chisora is a very dangerous person, and if he wasn't, I don't think Parker would have hesitated on taking the money to fight him if he didn't think that risk was very high or high. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Joseph Parker and Derek Chisora possibly getting it on. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.